So I had this dream, and it seemed a little more than just any regular dream. It wasn't some meaningless dream, and it wasn't some sort of nightmare being tortured by evil beings. Now, this dream took place over Europe. It was kind of like I was both high in the sky and looking at a map. Europe itself was filled with a lot of fictional countries. And then two seemingly random and obscure countries started throwing nuclear weapons at each other. One country was Yugoslavia, which doesn't exist today, and they were throwing nukes at another country, and I wasn't allowed to see their name. Now, I think this was important enough to mention. This is like a metaphor or like a figurative explanation of reality. You know how in the Bible, Jesus always gives you parables for what he's trying to convey without directly stating it? I believe that's what this dream was trying to do. Show me something like what's gonna happen, but not exactly, because I'm not allowed to know exactly what will happen. But now that's out of the way, these two countries thrown like a precursor round of nukes, like a first wave of nukes at each other. Like one maybe threw 7 at the one, and they threw 7 or 14 back. Then I see President Trump. He's being informed of this situation, and he was very upset and a little angry, but the upsetness wasn't anger. It was more like a sadness, like it came out of the left field. He wasn't expecting it, and he was disappointed. He was sad. He thought they were better than this, and they weren't. Eventually, the country's thrown a few more rounds of nukes at each other, and I believe the one that's allied with NATO eventually won by taking less damage, and the side that was allied with Russia lost. Russia wasn't happy about this, so they started throwing nuclear weapons at the NATO-loving country. And eventually, Trump gets called to deal with this, and the United States and Russia slowly started to exchange nukes. I want to say this was like a gradual nuclear weapons exchange because neither side wanted to fully annihilate each other. They kind of sent like 1 or 2 as a warning, and then the other side sent 1 or 2 as another warning. This kept going on until one side took too much damage and pretty much sent everything. Anyways, in the end, the United States was pretty much destroyed. Now, you still had some cities and settlements that were not hit with nuclear weapons. And the same with Russia, they were pretty badly destroyed as well. But then I remember something. Something else had to happen. Both sides were basically done. They had no more land-based nuclear weapons. But then the Russian... I can't say the name, but the Russian unalive hand, which if you don't know what that is, Google it. Basically, it's just like a submarine system Russia has in place to where if these submarines stop receiving an encrypted code, they launch their nuclear weapons within 24 hours. That goes off. So the submarines no longer get this signal. Eventually they surface all at once and fire their nuclear weapons again at the United States. And the United States was already devastated, but this pretty much removed all life from the United States. Maybe had a couple thousand survivors hidden deep in the ground. Maybe their basements or stuff, I don't know. But it was pretty much destroyed. And Russia actually fared a lot better than we did. At least they had some cities left. We had nothing. And now I know a lot of people clicked off by now, but I don't believe this was just a dream. I keep receiving dreams like this, and it's almost as if God is warning me, hey, wake up. The threat of nuclear war is real. Warn people. Warn people so they get right with me. Spiritually, and I do believe that's what's happening. You can have your opinion wherever you want, but I kind of believe that that's how tribulation starts. It starts as a nuclear war between a bunch of superpowers. Then whoever's left picks up the ashes, and the Antichrist brings them all together. I'm telling you, this war with Russia and possible war with China is serious. You cannot prepare for it with physical goods. Your food, your gold, your silver does not matter. Your extra supplies, your toilet paper, your light bulbs, none of it matters if there's a nuclear war. You need to be right with God, because when this happens, you're going to be gone either way. And it's easy to be saved. Place your faith in Jesus Christ and choose Him over your sins. That's it. You can't work to get into heaven, and you can't choose your sin over Christ. And I think the worst thing about this all is that most of you who listen to this message wouldn't have gone this far, and the ones that do probably won't believe in what I'm saying here right now. You know, it is written in the Bible that in the last of days God will give young men visions and old men dreams. Now, I'm still young, but perhaps my mind's too anxious to hear him correctly in the day. But yeah, it's like you can't push two nuclear powers into a corner. You can't do that. That's why this whole give weapons to Ukraine thing was dumb. They're not a NATO member, don't give them weapons. It doesn't matter if we could beat them in the land war. We won't beat them in the nuclear war, now will we? And some of you think Ukraine could take land from Russia, and I'm telling you right now, no nuclear power is going to let you take land from them and keep it. Because once they can't take it back from you, they're going to start launching their nuclear weapons. It's the whole point of their existence, to make sure you lose with them. And if somehow Ukraine does this magical fantasy thing and almost takes Moscow, you know dang well that they will launch every single nuclear weapon they have. That is Russia. They will blow up Ukraine, blow up all of NATO, and whoever else they don't like. You cannot push nuclear powers. Stop being stupid and thinking that you can. I see both sides of the political party thinking you can push nuclear powers beyond their tipping point. No, you can't. And just because you survived this long without being nuked doesn't mean you're not going to be nuked someday. That's called survivorship bias. Just because you lived this long doesn't mean the danger's not there. Those of you who have Christ should not fear or worry. Those of you that don't, you should definitely fear and have worry, because you don't know my God. I don't even know what I started this video on. I'm just mad right now. What makes you think you can give cruise missiles to Russia and not have them respond with some kind of mass destructive weapon? It's like if Russia gave Mexico thousands of cruise missiles that can have nuclear weapons on them, and Mexico just starts bombing us with them. You think we're gonna put up with that? No. We all be in nuclear war within the next hour, and yet we're doing that with another nuclear superpower. What kind of stupid is that?